Hello, my name is Nigel Smalls from SPH Solutions, and today I'm going to show you the OZmist PatioMist low pressure misting fan with portable wheels and tank. The system actually is a lot larger than you might initially think. These three boxes comprise a PatioMist, and just to give you an idea, you're talking about something which, when the two boxes are on top of each other, is 1 meter and 50 millimeters. Two boxes together, and this is the post, and that is 1.3 meters. So this isn't a tiny little thing. It works out to be quite a big item. First thing to do is take apart the boxes. Okay, so the three components are the misting fan, water tank and cart, which is this part and that part. That's in one box. The misting fan itself is in this bigger box, and then, as described before, this one says stand pole. It's the third box. If you have a look and see what that means, this is what you see when you open up. A cart with a tank, and there's some assembly to go on to the cart to get the wheels right. Fan, which again comes mainly assembled, and what we need to do is combine the pipe work with the pipe work in the stand. And then the third part is the stand with its pipework, which has to be linked to the fan. Okay, so the first thing is to take the cart out of its box. There are three separate components. The tank itself, which holds up to about 70 litres. And the lid, it's over the top. A bit of manoeuvring, clicks into place. We'll be taking that off from time to time to fill it, and we've got to put a pump in there yet. The third part is the trolley. So occasionally these casters don't come attached, and basically you have to fit them through here and screw up. The tank will then sit just loosely on top of here. So it just fits in position so it doesn't slide off. And then the next thing will be for us to put the post in, and then the fan on top. For the next stage, it's a case of putting the pole, mounting the pole, and for that you need to take the 4 bolts that are around this circle in the middle at the back of the tank, and take them off. Remember that the washer goes up against the bottom, then the spring washer, and then the bolts. You will find, by the way, a manual on assembly in with the misting fan on the side. So don't forget that. If you can't remember what I'm talking about, there is a guide as to how to do it. So the next thing is to attach the pole. And the pole comes out of that long box. And we need to remove it. Now, as you can see, it's got a bend. And then the way to guide that is the bend should go forward, allowing you, this will be the control, to be at the back of the tank. So once you've got one in, by all means use the tank as a support If you tip it on its side, lay it down quietly there. It's probably easier to put everything together. Okay, so then you've got the stand. So the next stage is to take the fan out. And it's a bit of a beast, and not least because it is attached in here with some pieces that keep it all together. Okay, so we get it out, bring it round, and pop it on. It's got a cord, and then once you've popped it on, you need to tighten this to keep the fan in place so it won't pop off. Okay. So there's three elements to this fan. There's the fan speed, which is determined here, 1, 2, 3. There's the oscillation, which allows it to oscillate or be fixed in a particular spot. And then we've got the ball valve, and that's what we've got to do next in the handle. So once we've attached the various bits, we need to attach the fan. We need to take these various bits off that's been supporting the fan. So that's just a bit tedious, but needs to be. Cable tie out. Grab hold of this red piece which is locked in there. You've got to push it up until you get it through the gap and push it from the back forward, grab it with your hand, and you can pull it out. There's one more. This one's easier. Pull it out. That pump's just a little ordinary garden pump. Pond pump that's got a few extra features to it. The easiest, rather than sticking it inside the tank, the easiest thing to do is just lay it on the base for the moment. So you've got this plate that will fit onto here. The plate must have the power cord at the top and the cord to the pump at the bottom. What we'll do is we'll fit everything, these pipes through here. Blue pipe takes the water from the pump, and the black pipe returns water that has not been evaporated back into the tank. So the other part, once you've got the pipes through the middle, is to then attach this cord here, making sure that you've got the right ones in the right direction. So the blue going in on this side will be the blue on that side, the brown coming into there, the live going in there, comes out there. So you have to orient it that way rather than the other way around. And then you push it together, click it, it clicks in and doesn't come out. That will then have to fit its way into this post. Okay, so then you need to put the plate in place, so you've got to take these two screws out. And remember what we said again, the power cord is on the one on the top. So you have to push everything in. fits over it. And so now the last thing on here is to attach this pipe. So you push the blue orifice down, push your pipe in as far as it goes. You'll hear it goes to a certain point and won't go beyond, but it does have to be pushed through until you get to that. And then if you pull that blue up, you've locked the blue pipe into place, this blue ring. So that's all you need to do about there. The last thing, of course, will be to put the tank back on. Put your pump inside. Pump just fits through there. There's excess wire and cord, and then you just push the pump into the middle. Might need to pull that out a little bit, so you gotta So to finish this off, we've got to now attach this delivery system, water delivery system, to the pipes that are in the stand already and lead down to that pump we've already connected up. And we've got to attach this panel which allows you to control the misting. So we'll do this first. Actually, we'll do that first. We'll do this first. So there's a bit of space required here. Got to remember there's one of these is blue and one of these is black. You want to attach the blue to the blue and the black to the black. Remembering that the blue takes the water from the pump to the fan, and the black takes any excess water back to the tank so it can be reused. So again, you depress these blue washers, push your pipe in as far as it can go, and then it just releases. That's held tight, just check it is. The black, same thing, push that in. It's a bit fiddly, this one, the black one. Push it in, release it, just check it's secure. So that's the two water pipes set up. And then the third thing you have to do here is to thread this through here, through the hole in the front, which is the power, and bring it up to fit into this, so there's power to the fan. Okay, so this can only go, it's a 3-pin plug and it can only go one way. There's ridges on the top that fit with this clip, and there's nothing on the other side. So there's only one way it can go in, and you can check that anyway. So that clips in like that. Oops. Make sure it's down there. That should hold. And then this one is what attaches to the misting side. And again, it's 4 pieces, it can only go in one way. There's a clip there that fits in that way over the top. Make sure it's secure. And then all this has to be pushed into the stand and then attached with the screws. 2 screws here for the pipe work, 2 screws here for the misting switch. I would recommend you screw this on by hand rather than use an electric screwdriver. But that's only to make sure you don't damage any threads. Okay, so last piece of the puzzle is the handle. And this is just to make sure you can move it around relatively easily once you've got a load of water in there. This goes on here. I'll take the screws off, put it on, and then you can see what the completed PatioMist looks like. Okay, you screw the 4 screws as tight as you can, and then we have a mobile PatioMist. Now, just to give quick, we'll run some water in it and show you how it works, but just to give you an idea of what the various features are again. This is the fan, so you can run it as a fan, 3-speed fan. This knob allows you to get it to oscillate or to be static in one direction. The water is pumped up the column and sprays out of this diffuser, and any water that drips, because it's low pressure, will fall into this little area here, back down through that black pipe and down in the tank to be reused. If you want to actually mist it, of course, you can run it as a fan on its own, but if you want the misting to start, this is the button for doing it. But you must have the ball valve, which operates the pump, on or off. It does have a little badge here which tells you when it's off and when it's on. That's the features of the PatioMist. Okay, so we're doing a little bit of a test, and just to check, we've filled this about halfway. Fits back. The best way to fit it is move it right back and push it down. So the first thing is it can be just a fan and a fixed fan. So there is the first point, second point, and third point. Now, it has to be said, when it's on full bore, it does sound quite loud, so beware of that. With misting, you probably wouldn't want it on full bore, because you want to be able to evaporate as much as possible. Usually a 1 would be enough, but that is how you set the fan going. Now, to get it to mist, we've got this ball valve here. The indicator here tells you that off is when it's north-south, east-west is when it's on. So that's the first thing. You put the ball valve on so that the water can come up, and then you decide you want to mist. You flick the switch, and soon you can see the mist spiraling around. There's a spiraling motion in there, and if you look closely, you can see that it being a low pressure mister, that you get some drippage, and that drippage collects there and then goes down back into the tank. If it didn't collect there, it would just drip all over the place. So the last thing you can do is to get it to oscillate. Now, this oscillation mechanism works off this piece of metal, which has got a nut attached to the middle. You can't see it at the moment. And then there is also a spinning wheel here, the screw that fits through. We've got to match up the nut that's on here with the screw that's here. So if you move it until such time as the nut and the screw are together, tighten it. Once it's tightened, that's when the oscillation will start. Basically, that screw is preventing the nut from moving. So you want it to hold a particular position, then you just loosen this where it's reached. This disc then starts spinning around. So loosen that off to the middle. Move this misting button, turn off the ball valve. No need for the fan anymore. Just let it wind down. Last thing to mention is that it has got on these 2 casters at the front a locking mechanism, which allows you to lock it in place should you require it to sit in a particular spot, just under there. And that's your PatioMist. Relatively low cost way of cooling your backyard.